I'm actually quite new to Basis. I joined earlier this year, and one of the reasons why I joined was because of the work that's been done with neural networks, specifically for text and word embeddings within Basis. So one thing that I was able to put together over the past few months is a prototype, or you can say a demonstration application called Semantic Studio. So here's the application. So all you have to do is basically type in what are you thinking at the very top. So stream of consciousness, you can put in, just start typing in. Doesn't have to be complete sentences. It could be emails or reports, or in this case, what I did was I actually selected the text, the first few paragraphs from Wikipedia describing nuclear weapon, and just dropped it right there. So you see there's no formatting, no syntax, no ands, or, not, nears, anything like that. Just taking the text as is. And then I did what we call a semantic query into all the documents that I have access to. So this application allows you to see, touch, and play with the actual embeddings, so you can kind of get familiar with it and build trust with the output that's coming out of it. So to expand upon it further, we can also go across languages and find similar terms in terms of how they're used. So in this case, I typed in the word spy in English, and I just selected Spanish. So these are all the Spanish terms that are very similar to the English term spy. So you get some of the usual suspects like, you can see CIA in there, but also there's other things like misterioso, like mysterious, or mercenario, a mercenary. So these are words that are kind of used in similar ways in Spanish to describe the English term spy. So now we can start tacking on from there and build upon this. So instead of just Spanish, we can say, here are some Arabic terms that are also similar to spy, or even some Russian terms. So we can use that and try to find things that are similar based on the way they're used. So let's take one different approach here. Let's say you had to deal with a lot of legal terms or jargon. Let's say, in this case, how many of you have heard of collusion in the news lately? Everyone, hopefully? Okay. So how would you describe collusion without using the word collusion? Well, here you go. You can say it's involvement, complicity, bribery, connivance. So it's not just a thesaurus, it's also how words are used along with the term or text that you're actually putting in.
And Eugene, we're going to deliver a 2-minute warning to both benches.
Okay. So just to wrap it up very quickly. So this article right here was from the Voice of America. If you attended Chris Bia's presentation earlier this morning, you're probably seen this earlier. About Russian influence operations taking aim at the military. What we can do with semantic search is actually take this article as is and start searching other documents or news sites that we have access to. In this case, on the right side, you can see RT, which is for Russian. So what we're doing is taking an English document, searching against Russian documents without doing any translation whatsoever. So we put that through Semantic Studio, and then we can see that the title of it is called In Search of the Russian Trace. You can see the quotation marks connection between the hacker group in Moscow by the intelligence agencies. So that's theirs, not mine. And if we look for the actual paragraphs and sentences that are most closely associated to that Voice of America article, the top one is actually talking about how the Russians are saying the publication of our reports are part of a political campaign to create in the minds of their citizens. So you can kind of see it's kind of pointing fingers at each other. So the whole one thing you can take away from this is that semantic search can not only find related documents of interest, but also identify texts that can support or reject conceptions.